What's up, guys? Mike Sharp here again. After 4 months, I'm back on YouTube. I was doing a merger and I'm still doing a merger, and it's taken up all my time, but it's getting a little bit better now. And so I thought I'd start doing videos again. And yeah, there's a lot to catch up on. I've got some moves that I made over the last 4 months. And usually I like to keep track of them here and just be transparent about what I'm doing. There's some trades I won't, but this is a fairly big move that I've made, and it is a trade. This is not a value investment, and it's technical as well. So if you hate that stuff, then you're going to hate this video. But I have just bought, well, over the last, let's say 2 months, I've been buying precious metals, actually. And the reason for that is because early March, gold broke out from this quite long pattern that had been developing where it couldn't get above $2,000 and kind of got stuck there, and it really popped above that level. And I thought, oh, here we go, right? Because, you know, hold on, let's talk about why. First let's talk about what. I bought some gold, and then I bought, maybe a month ago, I started buying some silver and some silver miners. And so the question is, why now, right? Like I could go into all this like macro stuff about here's why gold's going to go through the roof. There's inflation. There's, the U.S. government deficit is so huge and all this kind of stuff. But the truth is that macro is crap. Investing macro for macro reasons is crazy, because macro essentially means everything, right? If you can analyze everything, then you can do macro investing. But there's a reason why we don't have a lot of very successful macro investors. You've got Dalio, maybe George Soros is a macro investor. He's kind of a macro investor, but it's so hard because you're taking so many bits of information and they all add up to why oil goes up or why, copper goes down or whatever. But really what I think is it's impossible to actually make sense of all that stuff. So, and actually what happens when you invest in macro is they take this wide lens, and I know there's a mental bias for it, but basically the lens gets smaller and focuses on a few things that we can understand and make sense to us. And they say, that's the reason why gold should go up. But I have been watching gold for years and years now, and the gold argument is always the same. And everyone's, oh, here we go. We're going to 10,000. We're going to 50,000. The government's out of control, interest rates, blah, 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 all this stuff. And it never happens, right? And so why did I buy now? Well, the reason is because it's above 2,000 and it finally was able to stay there without getting knocked back. And the thing I know about in buying these sorts of markets, or like investing in these sorts of markets, is they're very chart driven, right? Like, Bitcoin is very chart driven, gold's very chart driven, because there's not a lot else that's tangible, right? Like when you have a stock, it's sort of like, you've got cash flow, right? Buffett always makes fun of gold, the pet rock. Why would you buy it? It doesn't have any cash flows. It doesn't have it's not producing anything, right? It's a non-productive asset. And it's true. It's true. So what happens? So you can't value it based on cash flows. You can't value Bitcoin based on cash flows. So what's it actually worth? Nobody knows. But what I do know is when things break to new highs in a strong way, like this did, where you get a big, strong candle up on high volume, it means the big money is behind that move, and a lot of time it keeps going. So I started buying gold. And the reason I bought silver is because I think there's a sort of pattern here. Usually gold goes first. It's the biggest, safest market. The biggest, safest stuff always moves first. That's why in bull markets in the stock market, you see like the Mag 7 moves, and then the medium stuff moves, and then all the garbage moves last, right? And so with precious metals, gold moves first, and then silver follows, and usually it's sort of like a high beta move, right? It'll move a lot more in percentage terms than gold moves. And then after that, you'll see the miners start moving. Miners can start moving around when silver moves. And then the last stuff, the garbage, is the junior miners, or the juniors. And that's this sort of end of the end of the market. So what I've done is I saw the gold start to move, and then I started buying silver because I knew it was going to follow, and I bought some miners, and those are starting to move as well. So I should tell you what I've actually bought in terms of miners. I don't have time to look at all of the different silver miners out there, but I bought the this ETF, Global X Miners ETF, SIL, US based ETF, and that is just accumulation of a lot of the producing silver miners. Now there's a SILJ, SILJ, which is the juniors. So I'm thinking about, well, maybe if I really want to press this bet, I might put some in there as well. But I'm not going to be picking any miners this time. So we'll see how that goes. I do have sort of a mental stop in here. I don't have a real stop, but let's actually talk about silver for a second. So silver, the barrier for silver was $30, right? It could not get above that level since what, 2020 or 2020. And so it's been about 4 years that it's been hitting its head, sort of can't get above this $30 level, and just on Friday last week, Friday the 16th, I think, 17th, it blasted through that level. And that is a strong move. If you look at the candle on the Friday, that shows there's a lot of money behind this move, and there's a lot of bullishness behind it. It's blasted through the resistance level, and that is sort of the level I'm keeping an eye on. If the price comes back down below 30, I'll probably start getting rid of this stuff. If it looks weak, it just kind of reverses and comes back down and goes below 30. Yeah, I'll worry about this position. But if we don't have that, we might be looking at what we saw last, in 2011, I believe, or 10, sort of post GFC, because of all the, I don't know, maybe because of all the money printing that went on then. It's sort of delayed from the big event, money printing, precious metals start moving. Maybe not. But in 2011, it really spiked up and it touched $50. And the way silver moves is when it goes, and it goes fast, right? So I'll know pretty quick. I'll probably know in 3 to 6 months whether this trade works or not. Yeah, it's looking quite good right now. So we'll see how this week goes. And if it reverses, I'll just get out. But anyway, there's a weird start to my to my YouTube revival again after the hiatus. But I will come back with some actual stocks and value investing videos really soon. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.